What's up, Fit Fam? Coach Rye from Team Flex. We're back to talk about the Arnold Classic UK Bikini Division. We're going to talk about the top two athletes, the placings, why one of them is over the other one, and what that means for you as far as criteria goes, what you need to know and how to apply it to your training, to your goals as a competitor to make sure no matter what level you're at, you're bringing your absolute best to stage. That's what we do on this channel, and we do it all the time. I'm doing it all of every day of my life, so please make sure you subscribe and you're checking out, you're following along. We got a lot of great stuff coming, you guys. All right, so here we go. Here's our top two from the Arnold Classic Bikini in the UK. We got Vanya over here on the left, and then we got Tara over here on the right. Okay, so Vanya came from Arnold, Ohio, and went basically straight over here to win. Okay, so she's our winner. She's the one that went and took the cake here for the win, and I think there's some pretty clear differences in physique that we want to talk about here to really note. Okay, so both athletes have this awesome hourglass shape. This is the iconic bikini shape, you know, that we always talk about on this channel, that judges want to see. Hourglass, taper in the waist, widens back out in the glutes. Okay, that's what the hourglass becomes. It kind of looks like this, and that line got a little wild, but you know, either way, it's this hourglass shape. Bikini is perfect symmetry, up, down, left, right, everywhere you look. You know, that is how we want to see bikini placing. You know, that's how you get to see actually where athletes are, and that's comprised of, you know, several different muscle groups. It could be the shoulders, it could be the glutes, and I just kind of coupled the word muscle group and glutes, but gloops, whatever. You know, that's where we really see the shape come from, and the narrow of the waist. So looking at Vanya over here, you know, she's got the nice shoulders, the shapes there, bicep and tricep that match that. I think that really works for her. The narrow waist effect, which is great, and then the glutes in proper symmetry, in proper shape and proportion here. So fullness to the full glute, upper glute is not missing. It is right there where it needs to be. Hamstrings match the glutes, quads match the glutes. So very symmetrical, very hourglass, very bikini type physique the judges are going to want to see. You know, that is no doubt, you know, partially how she ends up with this win here. In that sense, conditioning is very on par too. Notice the flat stomach, not overly conditioned, you know, showing these soft lines, these soft separations, but no cuts, no deep striations. That's really good. Okay, our second place winner over here, Tara, we got to talk about this too. So right out the gate, a little bit more dominant in the upper body. That's what I see, at least. Okay, you know, you're looking to the shoulders and you're like, whoa, some cannonballs here. So pressing muscularity for sure in the upper body, in my opinion, which I think could have been a differential factor, right? You don't want to be too dominant up top. It can really throw your physique symmetry off. It can make you look, you know, not let you fit in the criteria. So that definitely could have been a factor for her as well. I would say it probably was a little bit too much in the upper body at that point. And I also think, you know, she does not have as good of a narrow effect to the waist. If we're looking here, her waist looks a little bit more blocky, so it's a little up and down, and maybe that's why she's increased shoulder size at that point, is to try to combat some of that waist look. But either way, it's not coming together as good as Vanya's look. Okay, and you'll see too the glutes here. She's got good glute shape from the front, but her quads and her legs almost look like they're lacking a bit too much. You know, like they might need a little bit more size here. So it's these subtle differences, you guys, that are making a big difference. And I think her conditioning honestly could have been a tad, just a tad touch too hard. It's hard to say for sure based on this, but when we go and we watch forward, we're gonna look here. Okay, nice transitions. Same thing, a little bit more blocky in the waist on Tara there, not as much. And you can see, you know, Tara's got these good glutes, everything here. Both athletes, again, top two athletes, they got the shape, they got what they need. But what is the difference, right? That's what the judges are looking at. Okay, so let's look at Tara first, because Vanya is not in her pose yet at this point, but And these routines, by the way, I line these up side by side, which is pretty interesting. I'll tell you why more in a minute on that. But here we go. So we look at Tara. We see the shoulder shape. That's good. We got a tapered look, even with the hair down. That's good. All these markers are good. Glutes look really, really good, but too dominant in my opinion. Okay, she needs to really work on not so much the actual upper glute, not so much the full glute. Like the glutes, honestly, look really good and in the right spot. It's just that the legs look a little bit lacking here, okay? Like, I think she needs a little bit more fullness in the hamstrings, a little bit more fullness in the quads even, to kind of showcase her physique in the best way possible. So let's look over here now. She's going to transition out, and then there's Vanya's back pose, okay? So Vanya, again, just has the better symmetry and the better shape at this point compared to Tara, because she's got, you know, again, the shoulders here, that taper, all the same. Glutes are on par with Tara's, but Vanya also has the lower body come into play a little bit more muscle development in the quads, a little bit more in the hamstrings. That makes a world of a difference. It's a more complete physique type look, and that's what judges want to see, you guys, okay? So at all levels, no matter what, make sure you show up with a bikini physique that's hitting all the markers. And I'm not saying you got to look like these athletes. Remember, these are top two at one of the most prestigious competitions in the world. You don't got to look like this to compete, but you do want to have these same markers kind of trickle down, you know? You want to be balanced between the muscle groups. You want to have the symmetry up, low, up, down, left, right. You want to have all that, right? So that's all really important to pay attention to. Okay, so let's go ahead and transition out of here and move into the next bit of poses, where again, you'll see just, you know, in the walks here, I don't think the walks made too much of a difference in scoring, but again, just a little bit different look to these physiques here, where you can see, okay, Vanya, she's got the muscularity, and you see how her routine just ended? That's very interesting to me, right? Like, this is the second video I've done. I just did the wellness one. I just literally did it right before I recorded this, and you know what? The wellness athletes, the second place there, had a longer routine too. And one of the things I made, if you didn't watch that video, I'm going to tell you here again, and if I already told you, hear it again, because it's important. You know, if you are on stage for longer, it gives the judges more time to find out what is wrong with your physique. Okay, it gives them more time. That's what they're doing. Judges, when they're scoring, they're looking for those weak points. They're looking for the bad scores. They're not looking like, oh, here's the good, really good, you know. So the more time you spend on stage, it actually gives them more time to find that. And this is especially relevant for all you amateurs out there, NPC athletes trying to get a pro card. You know, quick, sweet, show your best and let them find out the rest later is really a good key, a good tactic, okay? So that's why I think these placings came down. Vanya just has a more complete physique, conditioning wise, you know, pretty comparable, but I think Tara came a little too, honestly, lean almost in that sense, and you know, she's just missing a little bit more of that shape, lower body. I think if she brings that in, it's going to be a different factor, you know. Even just looking at this pose here on the screen, the upper body looks way too dominant for her in this sense, and it's honestly probably because the hamstrings and the glutes are just lacking a little bit there. So again, still top two, still great, awesome physiques, you guys. This still represents criteria well. And I do want to talk about Angelica here for a sec too, because, you know, Angelica is a fan favorite. She has come back after being off for a long period of time, and we reviewed her for the Arnold, Ohio. And now we're looking here. So again, you guys, she's just got a lot of work to do, in my opinion. I think she's got a lot more to do if she plans to climb the ranks. I don't know that she will. I don't really know her personal goals with this right now. I don't know if she's coming back to see how she does and, you know, decide later, or if she's really like hell-bent on trying to go win Olympia again. But she's got a lot of work to do, you guys, if she wants to do that. She came in leaner for this event than she did in Arnold, Ohio, but it didn't help her. It didn't really help her at all. It kind of like took away, honestly, a little bit more from her physique, and she didn't really need to be much leaner. Like, you know, the leaner look becomes dangerous, okay, because then you look too lean. Like, look at this calf, and I don't talk about calves a lot in here, you guys, but that calf is lean as shit. That calf's got a vein on it, right? So she's very lean, and you can see her quads kind of separating, splitting a little bit here, and the physique just looks a little bit more stringy. You start to see too much of the muscle lines, ribs coming through. All this is not ideal conditioning for bikini. This will score you down if you bring over conditioned physique. So, you know, everybody's always concerned about the shreds, you know, always looking for the shreds. She's getting fourth here, by the way, fourth place. So, you know, again, still a top call up, but that's to be expected based on the lineup in the pack. She's a former Olympia. However, I would not say that this is a super, you know, competitive sense of like she's going to go win Olympia next year. She's going to have to make a lot of improvements, a lot of changes if she plans to do that. And I know she's a fan favorite. Waist is too thick at this point. You know, there's things for her to work on that I think will make a big difference. And you know, she's a great competitor, great athlete, great, you know, great champion, great former champion. But you can see even here, right? She came in leaner and it did not help the glutes. It almost flattened the glutes out. So this is why all you out there that love Angelica and you're like, why is she not winning? These are the clear markers to me that make sense as to why she has yet to, you know, come back and take a win at any of these events. So if she goes back to the drawing board a bit, softens up her look, brings more fullness in the glutes, brings more fullness to her physique, tapers in her waist more, she could be very dangerous again. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not counting her out. You know, I loved Angelica's physique when she was champion at Olympia. I thought it was a great direction for bikini at the time. However, you know, this is not that Angelica. This is a different version of her, which is just fine. This happens to everybody, ladies and gents. So that's the kind of review of Arnold Classic UK Bikini. If you have any questions, you guys want to know more stuff about this, let me know. I mean, I try to not make these videos 3 hours. I could, but I don't. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of them, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep the content coming. We're going to keep the criteria videos going. We got to help you get where you want to be. That's my goal. So share this with your friends, you guys. If you could do me a favor, like, I'm not trying to make money on this. I'm not trying to be out here and, you know, oh, I want you to share it so I get paid. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is share this stuff so that more people can hear it, more people can see it, more people can apply things and, you know, compete. Because, you know, our sport, you guys, bodybuilding in general is always one of those things that is on the edge of, like, it could go away eventually. If people quit competing, this sport doesn't exist, right? So we want to keep spreading the word, getting people involved, get people competing. It's one of those things. It's not mainstream, you know, like it's football or something like that. We gotta keep doing what we can to support the sport. And so help me share the videos out. Just share it with one person, even be like, hey, check this out. I thought this was cool. You know, it just helps everybody do better, you guys. And that's the real goal and why I do this channel, right? That's why I'm here. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you so much. Comment down below. Did you like the placings? Do you think Tara should have won? Do you think Vania should have won? You know, where are we going with this direction? There's not really changing criteria, but what do you think? You like the way things are going? Thanks for watching. Coach Rye is out.